Good morning. Very warm welcome to you. Session number 556. And let's very quickly look at what are we going to do today. And as usual, what we are going to do today is creating a world of ease, joy, and glory. And just to revise for the benefit of those who might forget or who had short memories, we are creating a life of ease, joy, and glory. And we are shifting from survival mode to the create mode. Right? We call it default mode, but it's automatic, It's almost like our life is running on an autopilot. So we ourselves are not in control. It just does what it does, right? So we want to take back the control. So we are creating life. And one of the things that drives us more and more into the auto mode is the negativity that we are picking up from everywhere. So much so that we start thinking negative ourselves and add more, we add more negativity in this world. And we want to become possibility seekers, rather than complainers. We want to be high energy and high focus people. In order to do that, we must remember this formula: capital P is equal to small p minus I. Performance is equal to potential minus interference. And we have unlimited potential. Don't forget, we are wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary people and powerful people and infinite beings. But our daily interferers, which stop us and impede us and obstruct us and hinder us, they don't allow us to be, powerful. And they don't allow our life to be a celebration that it is. So when we say a life of ease, joy, and glory, what does it mean? If you have a life of ease, joy, and glory, it will be a celebration, isn't it? Life will be fun. Life will be play. It will be like a child. And, imagine achieving everything you want without struggle and effort and just playfully going along and doing what you do. Yeah. Now, your mind might be skeptical and say, "Kaise kaise ho sakta hai?" But I'm telling you, ho sakta hai. Ho raha hai. And sometimes you might have experienced bouts of it, There are times in life when life is play, life is fun, and you're still achieving, probably achieving more than you otherwise do. So all that is happening. So the interferences that we're looking at mostly are beliefs, assumptions, habits, our tendency to be externally driven, our reactive behavior, our unreality. We are not actually seeing what is there. We are seeing what our mind is creating or imagining. Okay. That is why it's so hard for us to experience experiencing. How can you experience experiencing if you are not there fully? Okay. And today's topic is conflicts. Can you imagine how many negative emotional states come because of that? And one of the things present in conflict is also lack of correct knowledge. So what about conflicts? Okay. And there are many kinds of conflicts, internal and external. So let's look at internal conflicts. Would it be right to say that there are lots and lots of internal conflicts that go on? And does anybody have an example of an internal conflict that you are dealing with? Like many people say, na, dil aur damag mein jadojahad chal rahi hai. Yes, Neeti, your hand is raised.
Yes, sir. I think for me, the biggest internal conflict is self-rejection or self-denial, and the conflict that arises out of it. Statements like, I don't need it, whereas I do need it. I don't want it, where I am denying something that I really want. And that is the start of the conflict, and then it filters through to my external behavior and conduct. So,
yes. And so let's look at this. So when there is a conflict, I like to say, like, in Hindi, we say dvand hota hai. There is a what shall I say, dissonance, right? And when there is dissonance, what do you feel? Do you feel powerful or do you feel weak?
Obviously, weak. I won't say weak, but more blocked than
Exactly, exactly. All dissonance is the cause of a lot of dis-ease,
Yes.
which ultimately leads to disease, right?
Mhm.
Dissonance is how much of that dissonance we are causing without even knowing it, you know. And have you noticed that dissonance is taking away your energy units?
Very much.
So it's not available to you. Yes, Reddy Garu.
Good morning.
Come on.
My practical examples are paying bribes and meeting the politicians. Both are very conflicting in my day-to-day life.
Can you repeat that? I don't think I was able to follow.
Paying bribes to get the things done. There's a lot of conflict in my
Yeah,
daily.
what is the conflict? The conflict is what? There is conflict between something and something, right?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
I don't want to pay any bribe to any work to be done, but I'm forced to do it. There's a
Right.
lot of conflict within me.
Yeah, so in your mind, you're not able to reconcile with it.
Yes, sir. That's what.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a very divergent point of view. Okay.
Sure.
Now, we've all been brought up thinking that it is bad
Yes, sir.
to take bribe or give bribe.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have a choice whether we want to take a bribe or not. Yes, so
Yes.
we will not take a bribe.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me something. If somebody is asking you for a commission to facilitate the deal, would you pay it? Let's say I'm a commission agent. I come to you and say, okay, Reddy Garu, I will get you this job done. You have to give me 2%. Would you have a problem paying that?
Yeah, if it works out for me, yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is no conflict if you want to give a sales commission, right?
But this is a business deal, sir.
Yeah, I know. But I know I have had this discussion with a couple of big businessmen like you. And they said, "Ke dekho, ye business expenses hai."
Yes, sir.
So we don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is a cost of doing business in a certain country, believe me, this was with somebody who's not from India. And this company, like, no, at that time, 100 crore expansion plan was stuck up. Okay. Just because they refused to budge on this particular point. Until one day they saw that it's a legit business expense. So they appointed agent to facilitate the deal.
Yeah.
Now they don't care what the agent is doing. All right.
Yes, sir.
And one thing they were very clear on, we are not going to compromise on our quality standards or anything. And if what somebody is asking for is making me compromise on my principles of, you know, what kind of quality I want to offer and all that, then I will forego the deal. You know, so looking at the possibility that over the next 40 years, that expansion that was held up, how much money they will earn from that, they were willing to, I mean, the amount that in those days was not very big also, right? So all I'm saying is, you can get rid of a conflict very simply, right? You know how it's so simple. You'll say, okay, I will not get the business, I will not give also. Finished. But the conflict comes when your mind says, Arey Baba, this is very important, I have to get it done. You know, and they are asking me this, and I have to get it done, what to do. So either we are not even accepting to lose that deal and say, okay, I don't want to deal with you. Finished. Then there'll be no conflict, no? But if you know, you also know that if you do that, that fellow will make life difficult for you. I know one gentleman was running a big factory in Rajasthan, and the government was bothering him so much about all these things, what you're talking about. He decided to close his plant and move away from that state. And he said, "Okay, look, whatever reasonable amount of facilitation fees is required, I'm willing to give that. But this is exorbitant. So I don't want to do business over here." But he resolved the conflict in his own mind, one way or the other. Problem is that we don't resolve it also. Are you getting my meaning, what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this way or that way. And if you consider it like very simple, this fellow told me, he said, "Sir, देखो, हम sales वाले को commission देते हैं ना." So I consider it to be a facilitation fee. So for me, there's no conflict in my mind. I said, "Okay, good for you." Point is, he found a way to reconcile and not have a conflict in his mind. Suppose we are not having this judgment about it, right, wrong, good and bad, and this is not okay, and this is bad, and this is bad, then the conflict will be there more. If you don't have a judgment about it, you will take some appropriate action, what is the correct one. And I'm trying to look for a scripture, which is in which religious scripture where it's written that you cannot give it. Yeah, if you give it and you are compromising on something. Suppose you're building a road, and in order to facilitate that road, you have to give, say, 40% commission. And for that, you have to compromise on the quality of the road. Then that is not correct, I believe.
Sir, but here I am compromising on my values.
Then don't do it. So simple, no? Just don't do it. You say, "No, I will not do it. I will not do this business." On the other hand, suppose you appointed somebody to facilitate the deal, like we give overriding commission to an agent, like that. Then are you compromising on your principles? So think about it. It is, what I'm saying is, internal conflicts can be sorted out.
No.
A lot of these internal conflicts also have to do with ego. I want to talk to that person. I want to make up with that person. And internal conversation is, why should I? He's younger to me. He should do it. I'm always being nice. He's always being rude. But I want to make up with him. But I will not make up with him. Because he wants everything on his terms. Are you noticing how we are causing internal conflict? Now you can deal with it simply and say, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with that person. I don't want to talk to him, and finished. Relationship over. We will not do that also. The mind will say, "Oh, no, that is not fair. What will happen to him? Blah, blah, blah." Then we are not taking the step to make up with him because we are not willing to give up on our ego or whatever. Ego is what? Point of view that you're holding on to. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, this okay was for everybody because, everybody virtually has some internal conflict sometimes between their own ego and what they desire. How many of you have got that? What is ego? Whatever you consider yourself to be. By the way, who is this V1234? Some new person. So let's welcome them properly. Pandya Rajan, very good.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who's this?
Vandana. Vandana, sir.
Oh, hi, Mandana.
How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you. आप तो ईद के चांद हो गए हैं.
नहीं sir, I mean, एक दिवाली rush ऊपर से, like the weather is changing and like you also have bad throat too. Really been irritating.
Okay, you proved it by sniffing. All right, so let's talk more. This is a good time to resolve, clarify. One thing is clear, any kind of conflict, whether it's internal or external, is a kind of dissonance, and dissonance always makes you lose power. It makes you lose focus. It makes you lose attention units. So you desire to continue to have them in your mind. And be very clear who creates them. Somebody else coming and creating it. Even though you'd like to blame somebody else for the conflict. All right, any other examples, samples?
Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, these internal conflicts at some point of time begin from an external influence and they then become an internal conflict in us.
Yeah,
So again, we are being influenced by external circumstances and then we are not owning up to what is happening within us.
yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we create it with our own internal conflict.
Mhm.
See, it always reflects some way or the other. Right? See, if sometimes, you say, oh, the right thing to do is this. But I won't do it because they did this to me yesterday.
Mhm.
So you end up doing something and now it's caused an external conflict. And then you will say something like, Acha, when they did it, they didn't feel bad about it. Huh? Now I did it, so they are feeling very bad.
So that's one of the other internal conflicts when one feels my sibling is preferred over me.
Yeah.
A very strong internal conflict comes.
Yeah, it's a point of view which you have, and the sibling may or may not be responsible for it.
Yes.
Right? And for some reason, you start believing it.
Yeah.
All right? Like, I've had this happening in my family also. My elder two fellows would tell me, oh, you are pampering the younger fellow. So one day I told them, I said, if you expect me, this fellow is a little baby. All right? You expect me, you big grown-up fellows, mustandas, you expect me to pick you up and do choo 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 to you. I mean, come on, yeah. Then they got it. Obviously, it'll be different, no? That fellow's a little helpless baby, toddler growing up, little jab, right? He will be obviously treated differently, no? But if the mind is looking at it and saying, देखो, oh, discrimination, उसको ज़्यादा पूछते, मेरे को नहीं पूछते. So it's interesting. Thank you for raising this one, because I believe sometimes we cause it. Our own internal conflict or our point of view makes us then do something and then cause another conflict with someone else. So now you have another person to blame. First you are blaming someone. Now you get to blame another person also. So that's another interesting thing. Very good. Thank you. Yes, Shanti ji.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. Sir, we have been talking about this performance is equal to potential minus interferences. Like interferences are a lot. How long we have to strive with these interferences to come out of this default mode and become always in the creative mode? Because we have been working, but that awareness is not at all coming to us.
Hello, ma'am. This is like saying, how long will I have to have my bath daily? Why do I get dirty daily? Why I have to go for kapoos daily? Come on. That's the nature, right? You clean up, something more will come. So what? We have the technology to clean up, no?
Yes, sir.
So today's question is what? You missed that. What is the internal conflict that you have? The internal conflict.
My internal conflict is how long it will take to get out of this internal, to get out of this interferences.
And why?
Because I was tired of fighting with the interferences.
Yeah, but why are we fighting? We just deal with them, no? Do you fight every morning before you go for bath?
No, sir.
Why? Because it's normal.
Okay, sir. Okay,
isn't it? So interference will come.
okay, sir.
You will overcome at some level, then at a higher level it will come. So what?
Yes, sir. It's
See,
all.
I'll tell you something. If there is no struggle in life, no, there will be no growth also. Do you
Yes.
believe in God? Muruga, believe in it?
Pardon, sir?
Do you believe in God?
Yes, sir.
So he is a useless fellow. What?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Now I have understood, sir. This interferences are all coming just to facilitate our growth.
Yeah. See, like we know what some friend was telling me that all the person needs is a little rice and little salt, right? But when he'll say no, we should put some masala, put some vengayam also, and let us put some haldi also, right? We also want masala, no? Otherwise we'll get bored.
Yes, sir.
So, see, if you don't want any challenges, don't do anything. Go and take sannyasa. Go live in an ashram, there'll be no conflict. No internal, no barriers, no nothing. Would you like to do that, Shanti ji? I mean, people can say, now you're old, no? Why don't you go take sannyasa,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You will be having bliss, no? You can sit under the tree, meditate, or do your whatever you want to do.
Yes, sir. I got it, sir. That internal interference are a must in our life. We have to accept it that way. We should not get irritated by those internal conflicts.
No, but again I'm saying, don't say I should not get irritated. You will get irritated, so what? That's also natural, no?
Yes, sir.
Problem is why I'm getting irritated, why I'm getting irritated. Okay, sometimes you will get irritated, sometimes you won't. And the moment you notice the irritation, you can say, oh, I'm getting irritated. Okay, very good. What difference does it make by getting irritated? Then you will not feel irritated. See, there's nothing bad.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because we think, oh, ideal state is when I'm not irritated. Irritation is bad. So when we get irritated, we are more upset with that. Oh, why I got irritated? Hey, Baba, interesting poem. You please remember, memorize it. Okay, small little girl told me one day. She said, as a rule, man is a fool. When it is hot, he wants it cool. And when it is cool, he wants it hot. Always wanting what is not. So I've met people who will also say, oh, life is too smooth. Nothing is happening in life. I said, what do you want here? Kuch nahi ho raha hai. Nothing is happening. Then you make it happen. Yeah, okay, Pandya, I will answer your question provided you open your microphone and say.
Thank you.
Because your topic only is very interesting. It says, I want to talk. I'm ready to deal. I'm to whatever. So talk, na? Please unmute your microphone.
Hello,
Unmute.
sir. Yeah, hi, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, I see. The thing is, no. First, if you want to solve the problem, first you have to ready to listen. So I'm always ready to listen. Okay, tell me what happens and all. But the point is, they are not ready to talk on that situation, but they are showing their anger. Okay, but they are not explaining what is happening and all. And if I tell you are feeling this problem, okay, can you do like this? And they are not listening my words and all. Again, they are coming with the same point what they have in their mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to deal that kind of situation and all. So what should we do?
Okay, very good. But by the way, are you following the conversation today? Are you listening?
Yeah, yes, sir. 7 o'clock. 7:10. I just log in. It's about the.
Hello, I'm not asking you what time you logged in, my dear friend. I'm asking you, are you listening?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
It's about the conflict. How to handle.
No, we didn't talk about how to handle. Which conflict we are talking about today?
Internal conflict and external conflict.
Exactly. So let's talk about internal conflict. Okay. So this particular example that you've given, you are having internal conflict, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And what is the cause of your internal conflict?
Like a judgment. I judge her, or I judge usually.
Right.
Okay.
That is causing internal conflict. Correct?
That is what.
What is the internal conflict? So the mind is saying something, isn't it?
Yes.
Mind wants something and mind saying something.
Yes.
So what do you want?
My mind is saying something.
நீங்களுக்கு என்ன வேணும் sir? What do you want?
Yeah. My see, I have in my mind something that should be happen, but it is not happening.
What do you want? What should happen?
The problem should solve. Whatever the situation, whatever the problem is arise, it should solve.
No. What is you want? Problem should solve. If problem will solve, what will happen?
Everyone will be happy.
So what do you want?
Happiness.
Exactly. You want happiness?
Yes.
Do you think other person wants unhappiness?
Well, they also want happiness only.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You believe this?
Yes.
Then if you believe this, and if you want to resolve, do you want to resolve the conflict?
Yes.
And where are, you are focusing on telling your point of view to the other person. Am I right?
Okay.
Yes or no? I mean,
Yes. But then
when you
how?
talk to the other person at that moment, you are focusing on telling them your point of view, isn't it?
After listening everything, then finally I will give time for them what is happening. Then at last I will tell my opinion. Okay. So that is what.
Wait. When you say you are listening to everything,
Yes.
and then you are giving your opinion.
At the end of the time, so this is my opinion on this particular problem. Like.
So if you give your opinion about what they are saying, you will never resolve the problem.
Okay.
You get it? Instead of getting their point of view as it is, you're not getting it, so there's no communication happening. So now you listen to what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
All right. Communication begins with the willingness to accept another person's point of view without changing it. I'll repeat that in case you missed it. Communication begins with the willingness to accept another person's point of view without changing it. It does not mean that you have to do what they are asking you to do. It does not mean you don't do what they are asking you to do. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. It does not even mean that you should disagree with them. It simply means that you are willing to accept their point of view without changing it. So what type of listening will be required for that? Listening without judgment.
Okay.
So if you listen to someone without any judgment, will you give any opinion about that?
Sir, judgment is by default it is coming, sir. I don't know how to avoid it.
No, you don't avoid it. You notice that, okay, this is only my judgment. I'm not a god. Okay, this is only my point of view. See, you have one point of view, the other person also has a point of view. Both of you are thinking that my point of view is the correct one. That is why the conflict is happening, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And most of the time you're trying to convince the other person that my point of view is the correct one. And the other person is not listening to you properly and they are saying, no, my point of view is the correct one. So both of you are clashing about something called point of view. And in that clash, you are both forgetting that what we want is happiness. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir. But see, the one thing is, see, there's a difference between me and her. Okay. I will tell, sir, the simple difference is, I will tell my opinion. I will say, if you agree with that, you do it. Otherwise, no problem. I will say like that. But what she will do, no, she will tell to me, you have to do. This is should do. So that is the difference. What I am doing. I will sell my opinion and I will say, if you agree, if it is okay, you go. Otherwise, no problem. Whatever you want to do, you do.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what-
saying you don't even say that. No, you simply say, okay, I understand. Why should you say, okay, you can do what you want to do or not do? Simply say, okay, I understand what you're saying. That's it. Finished.
Okay, sir.
And you do this for a while. You know, what is happening, Pandya, is that you are trying to drive your agenda. And your agenda is more important than your happiness. So if you seriously wish to resolve the conflict, try to understand the other person's point of view. Then they might be interested to know your point of view. You cannot force your point of view on anybody. No? It's not possible unless they are willing to receive that. And please know that everybody's point of view is correct from their point of view. You know, from where they stand, they see things in a particular manner. From where you stand, you see in a particular manner. Both are right. So why are we fighting? Simple question is, you want to be happy? Yes, I also want to be happy. So let us be happy. And together, let us find out how to be happy. That's a better conversation, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Suppose we simply say, okay, all right, yeah, let's find a way of being happy together. Both of us are both sufferers in this. Together, let us find a solution for it. Then it will completely change the way you are interacting. Okay, don't forget, both of you are having the same problem. It's not only your problem. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So try it out.
Thanks.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for sharing, because so many other people also got clear on so many things as we were talking about it. Yes, Vandana ji. Good.
So, good morning, everyone. So then, won't we be compromising every time on what we want?
Who said
Then
that?
if
Means
I'm
again, you're not
listening-
listening.
No, if I'm listening to your point of view and I'm saying it's okay, you said don't even discuss or don't even put your point of view.
So
Just
did
say
you listen to that entire sentence which I was speaking? Can you repeat it?
no, sir. I don't.
Communication begins when? I'll
Sorry.
repeat it for you. Listen to me very carefully.
Yes, sir.
And repeat every sentence as I speak it, right? Communication begins with the willingness to accept another person's point of view.
Communication begins with the willingness to accept the other person's point of view.
Got that much? Then
Yes,
it does not mean that you have to do what they say.
it
No.
does not mean that you have to do what they say.
And it does not mean that you don't do what they say.
It does not mean that you do what they say. Then
And it doesn't even mean that you don't do what they say.
it doesn't mean that you don't do what they say. So how do you do it, sir?
Wait. First, listen. You're so busy, you know. I mean, your mind response karna hai.
Yes.
Second part of this sentence is, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with them.
It doesn't mean that you have to agree with them.
It doesn't even mean that you have to disagree with them.
It doesn't mean that you have to disagree with them.
It simply means that you are willing to accept their point of view without changing it.
It simply means that you accept their point of view without changing it.
It's like saying, okay, this is your point of view, I get it. You know, suppose you are communicating something to me, all right?
Mhm.
Normally what happens, we are, saying, oh, do I agree with this?
Mm.
Is she right? Will I have to
Mhm.
do what she's asking me to do? Blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. All that is going on, right? Now,
Mhm.
when I'm listening to you, I'll say, let me get what is Vandana's point of view, because Vandana, whatever she's saying, will be communicating her point of view from where she stands. Because I'm not in her shoes. I just want to get her point of view. When I do that, it is possible that Vandana will also start getting interested to hear what my point of view is. All right.
Yes.
So suppose somebody is communicating something to me, I'll simply say, all right, I get it. This is what you're saying. I may even repeat the words and say, okay, this is what you're saying. I understand that. Great. And then rest over there.
So let's say it's something like I tell you, sir, you say we should do a class at 6 o'clock in the morning, and due to whatever reasons, I feel no, we should do it at 8. Now you are saying 6 and I'm saying 8. Now, where do I understand that? And how would you
I
understand
think
that?
I'll say, all right. So Vandana, what you're saying is you'd like to do a class at 6 in the morning. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying 8, you're saying 6, either ways, whatever. But then either I will agree with
Wait,
you.
wait,
or
wait,
you
wait,
will-
wait. Don't jump 2 steps. You are
Yeah.
saying you'd like to do the class at 6 a.m. Is that right?
Mhm.
I've understood you correctly.
Both the points are different for you and me. That's what I'm saying. So where do we
Now,
compromise?
obviously, so you have your point of view, I have my point of view.
Yes. Yes.
And if we both start finding out, see, when we try to convince each other about our points of view,
Mm-hmm.
both of us have the capability of finding a solution to the problem. Our mind is not working on that.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah,
what
because
is-
I have my issues and you have your issues because of whatever reason we
It's
won't
not
get to
issue.
agree.
See, you want something at 6 o'clock. I want something at 8 o'clock.
Right.
But what we really want is what? That something should take place.
Right.
If you did not want to attend the program, there won't be a program at all. No? And if I was not wanting to conduct the program, there won't be an issue at all. So what you want is, I want to attend the program.
Yes.
And what I want also is, okay, you should attend the program.
Right.
So there is no dissonance on that, is it?
Right.
You want to have it at 6 o'clock, I get it. I completely get that. But it doesn't mean that I should do it at 6 o'clock. I get that you want to do it at 6 o'clock in the morning. I get it completely. Now, you may want to also get, okay, so Deepak wants to do it at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Mm.
Then we'll say, all right. So the question now is how to make it possible for you to be in the program.
Mm.
You want to be in the program,
Mm.
right?
Right.
And then we can say, all right, so let's together find out a solution. What should we do? Because, when I explain, then when I tell you why I cannot do it at so and so time, you might be willing to listen to it.
So even if you listen, let's say I can't do it or you can't change it due to whatever reasons.
No, it's not. Listen, both are lies. By the way, I can't do it and I can't change it. Both are lies. They're not the truth. Who says you can't do it? And who says I can't change it?
So maybe you have a corporate commitment somewhere else. I have somewhere else. How do we?
No, you get it? No.
Yeah.
There's no question about I can't change it. I can. And I have something to deal with.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
It could be so many other things also, no? Like the majority of people in the program want to attend it.
Whatever could be the reason, but it's between
Whatever could be, right?
your wish
Now,
and mine.
Yeah. So you are getting stuck on the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
See, what you want is nahi. I should convince him he should do it at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
So why?
Because I'm unable to manage according to that time.
Right.
Whatever is the reason. Yeah.
So, but it doesn't stop us from getting each other's point of view, does it?
Even if you get it, do you either you will compromise or I'll compromise or we
No,
won't.
no, no need. See, this is where we get stuck in life, that we feel that I have to do something with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't do it. You say, okay, sorry, well, looks like,
So फिर
nothing
तो
will come out of it.
वही बात होगी ना, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं आश्रम में चले जाओ, ब्लिस में रहो, कोई टेंशन ही ना लो किसी चीज की.
कितने स्टेप आगे जाओगे तुम? फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या है कि you will not have any conflict in your mind. You understand?
मुझे
You have a conflict. You say, I want to jump out of the window and fly.
Right.
Can you do that?
No.
Right? You say, no, but gravity should listen to me. The world is very unfair. If birds can fly, why can't I fly?
Fair enough, my point of view.
You get it? But will you jump out of the window? Will you try to convince God that he should?
So वहाँ तो communication नहीं है ना, यहाँ तो आप कह रहे
क्या होता है? नहीं है, इसका भी solution नहीं है. अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि भाई ये program तो इतने बजे ही होने वाला है, and there are reasons, and if you want to be in it, you be in it at that time. Otherwise, it's fine. Don't be in it. I'll give you a recording if you're so interested in it. So then there is no clash over there.
Right.
Clash happens is when you're trying to force somebody towards a certain outcome that you desire.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Very right.
So हर एक परिस्थिति में, isn't it this what is happening? You're trying to force some outcome, that person's trying to force an outcome, Together, we are not trying to find out a solution to whatever is going on. Because sometimes when you look together, a solution will come out.
maybe not.
If it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. That's it.
तो छोड़ दो ना फिर, like मैं you get either you stick to your point of view and say sorry मैं तो कर ही नहीं सकती, thank you.
Right. And
Right.
then you will do it without any angst and without any rancor. See, let's take relationship, for example. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Somebody has certain, let's say, habits, and you don't like those habits
Mm-hmm.
because you have your point of view about it.
Mm.
And that fellow is majboor, he cannot change his habits.
True.
And you have a point of view कि वो जानबूझ के नहीं करना चाहता है ये फलाना ढिमकाना. All right.
जानबूझ के एफर्ट नहीं करना चाहता है उसको करने
जो कुछ भी, whatever you think.
ठीक है.
Okay. So
जी.
there's a lot of angst about it.
Lot of
Angst, problem, conflict, darar, all that, right?
Yeah.
Lot of tu, my, all that stuff. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, when you are willing to listen to the other person's point of view
Mm.
and get it,
Mm.
yeah, वो तो भाई, this is the way it is, right? And he's getting your point of view, that this is the way it is for her. Get it? Now, one possibility opens up is that together can we find out a solution? And say, all right, let's work together and find out a solution. And the person is willing to work with you. That is one option.
Okay.
Second option, he is not willing to work with you. He says, नहीं, मैं तो ऐसे ही रहने वाला हूँ. You want to take it, you take it, otherwise leave it.
Right.
And then you say कि भैया अगर तुम ऐसे रहने वाले हो तो
मैं भी ऐसे
I
ही
can't
रहूँगा.
take it, right? And then you amicably decide to part ways.
Hmm.
But amicability remains,
Hmm.
right? So then that dissonance is over.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you something, when you get somebody's point of view, the chance that they may be willing to work with you to change that situation, the chance becomes 99% better.
So it's conversation, discussion.
No, it's willingness to accept another person's point of view opens the door for working together. See, what happens is that when you have opposing points of views,
Hmm.
you're not willing to accept, then you are on the other side of the fence, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we are antagonistic.
Yeah.
When you are willing to accept another point of view, person's point of view, you're not an antagonist.
Mhm.
You become collaborators,
Right. That's a good word.
right? So why don't we work together and fix it? First question you'll ask is, do you want to fix it?
Mhm.
Like I asked Pandya, I said, what do you want? He said, I want to be happy. Then you
Hmm.
ask the other person, do you want to be happy?
Hmm.
In this particular case, whatever hypothetical case you're talking about, the question first would be, would you want to fix it? Do you want to have this relationship? You'll ask yourself first, do you want to have this relationship? Answer is yes, let us say. And you ask the other person, do you want to have this relationship? Answer is yes, let us say. And you say, all right, if that is the case, let's find out how to fix it. But that will only happen when you give up your righteousness and the person is also then going to give up his. Which righteousness means I am right. It
तो
could
सर
be
बात
वो उसका दृष्टिकोण है, ये मेरा दृष्टिकोण है.
बिल्कुल.
हम दोनों का दृष्टिकोण हम मिला के एक साइड में बैठ के समस्या को देखते हैं, एक दूसरे को ब्लेम नहीं करते हैं, समस्या को देखते हैं और समस्या का समाधान ढूंढते हैं, मिल के करते हैं.
काम हो जाना चाहिए चाहे जैसे भी हो.
हाँ, और बड़ी क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए कि तुम चाहते क्या हो.
Maybe that's why we are mostly confused कि we just look at कि वो ये कर ले मैं ये कर लूं. So both of us
चाहते क्या है वो भूल जाते हैं ना.
जी. The
क्योंकि
idea
वो
is to attend the class.
जद्दोजहद के अंदर लोग ये भूल जाते हैं कि हम चाहते क्या है, हम भिड़ क्यों रहे हैं फॉरवर्ड. अगर रखना ही नहीं है तो बात ही मत करो ना, फिर बात खत्म.
हाँ तो सर फिर वो तो वही हो गया ना कि तुम अपने रास्ते में अपने रास्ते.
आई नो, बट अगर आपने एक दूसरे का दृष्टिकोण समझने की कोशिश ही नहीं करनी है
जी,
वो वही हो रहा है ना. आप अपनी जगह, वो अपनी जगह, हो तो वही रहा है ना.
बिल्कुल.
आपको मिल रहा है जो आप चाहते हो. आपको क्लैरिटी है कि आप क्या चाहते हो, उसको क्लैरिटी है कि हम क्या चाहते हैं. एट दैट मोमेंट, इन दैट व्हेन दैट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज गोइंग ऑन, यू आर ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन बीइंग राइट, कि who's right and who's wrong.
So first focus on what you want. Be with the clear mode, then go and approach him or her.
Ask the other person also, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And if both are aligned on what they want, then you listen.
Mm-hmm.
See, what happens is willingness to accept another person's point of view जो है कहाँ शुरू होगा? वार्तालाप की शुरुआत तब होती है जब आप इच्छुक होते हो दूसरे के दृष्टिकोण को रूबरू ले लेने के लिए. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप उससे सहमत हो, उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप उससे असहमत हो, उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप करोगे जो वो बोल रहे हैं, उसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि आप नहीं करोगे जो वो बोल रहे हैं. इसका मतलब सिर्फ ये है कि मैं दूसरे आदमी का दृष्टिकोण को रूबरू क्या कहते हैं स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार हूं. मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि भाई उसका दृष्टिकोण है क्या. यू नो, देन द डोर ओपन्स फॉर कोलैबोरेशन.
Okay.
क्योंकि अगर दोनों को एक ही चीज चाहिए है तो एक दूसरे से भिड़ने से तो नहीं मिलने वाली है. एक दूसरे के साथ काम करेंगे, कोलैबोरेट करेंगे तो मिलने वाली है.
Let me try that this time and see and get back to you.
प्रॉब्लम हम लोगों को हमको सुनना आता ही नहीं है.
हाँ, that's true.
हम इतने ज्ञानी है ना, हमको लगता है कि हम सुन रहे हैं. क्या सुन रहे हैं?
ज्ञानियत
तात्पर्य सुन रहे हो.
सही है
You're
already.
only listening to your own interpretation. आप अपना तात्पर्य सुन रहे हो. So how can you listen to somebody's point of view? No, ये problem है. Okay, good. Thank you, Vandana, for allowing us all to look at this topic because it's very important topic. Thank you. Thank you. Please mute your microphone now. Somebody's microphone is making a lot of noise. Whose microphone is on now? Better. All right. So are you getting it? So we have given you many, what shall I say, tips about dealing with internal conflicts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm muting you now. Yeah, okay. And to everybody, it's not only for Vandana, you know, people are in similar situations. Many people. I think it's Neeti's microphone.
So I think Hasina ji wants to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Hasina ji. Thank you.
So I want to share what happened yesterday, and it's
All
so
right,
valid
please.
with this question. We were to go to the doctor at 9 o'clock. My daughter-in-law said she has work afterwards, so we will go early. I said, okay, we will go at 9 o'clock. I had planned everything. I was ready by 9 o'clock. I was sort of late in getting up, so I didn't have my breakfast. And you will not believe I went just without my bath. I said, I'll come home and have my bath because I didn't have time. Now, what happened when I got up and when I was all dressed, she was still sleeping. Then when she got up, she said, nah, we will go by 10 o'clock. So when I feel this is not fair. I messed up my morning just to keep up with her timing. Then I had actually got up with the thought that I will work with stop blaming and start living, literally. So I said, if I have anger inside me, or if I have a long face when we are going in the taxi, it's not going to make any sense. So what I did, I just didn't react to this. When she said 10 o'clock, we went out at 10 o'clock. In the taxi, I just didn't react. I just couldn't believe how I behaved. I was so normal that if nothing happened, there was no conflict between us. Because she never gets up early. So I said, this is her habit. So I have to accept whatever happens. And I was at peace.
Be an allowance, it's called.
Yes. So I was absolutely at peace. And I'm just thinking to myself, why mother-in-law behaved the way she behaved? Otherwise, she would get angry. So
the interesting thing, Akita ji, listen. The interesting thing is, you wanted to go early for whose sake? For her sake.
Yeah, for
Right?
her sake. That is it. Huh? Yeah.
So if she slept late, then for her sake you can forgive her, which you did.
I did.
Because
I wanted to have peace in the taxi. I didn't want to have clash in the taxi. I said early morning, I don't want all this. I will
yeah,
just
that's
keep
good.
quiet as we go on.
Yeah, but it can be easier on you if you are very clear in your head. "Okay, I wanted to go at 9 o'clock for her sake, right?
Right,
And we are not going at 9 o'clock for her sake."
right. Okay, yeah. That's a better way of.
Yeah, you will not get upset at all. See, what I'm hearing is that you were having some upset, but you didn't show it. That is good. But if you didn't have an upset at all, that'd be even better, no?
Yeah, but if I keep practicing this, my upsetness will never come.
Yeah, now you're talking. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Shanti ji.
Thank you, sir. This is an amazing session.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good. Is that all you want to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I have.
Yes, Vandana ji.
So again, in this point of view, she being at 80 or whatever age is, she compromised her schedule, which she might not have because of whatever reasons, but she compromised, I feel, कि अपनी prayer भी, पूजा भी छोड़ी, नहाना भी छोड़ा, तैयार होना, breakfast भी छोड़ा. So you're
I don't know,
compromising.
ये सब तो उन्होंने बोला नहीं, आप बोल रही हैं.
नहीं, but देखो आप वो कह रही है ना, मैंने अपने आप को इतना restraint में
एक
practice
मिनट
किया.
वंदना, आपका
हाँ जी.
क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है जो आप मुझे जताना चाह रही हैं? बता
मैं
दो ना.
जताना नहीं चाह रही सर, मैं सोल्यूशन ढूंढना चाह रही हूँ. लाइफ में ये रोज होते हैं इंस्टेंसेस. मैं
इसमें
आपका राय
solution क्या है?
जानना चाह रही हूँ.
See, you are not listening to my conversation with her. अगर आप सुन रही होती
जी
तो आपको आंसर मिल जाना था.
सर, दोबारा गाइड कर दो.
हाँ, मैंने उनसे, मैं अब हिंदी में बोल देता हूँ, शायद आप ज्यादा सुनाई दे जाएगा. मैंने उनसे कहा कि किसकी खातिर आप 10 बजे के बजाय 9 बजे जाना चाहती थी?
जी
उनकी खातिर ना.
जी.
Alright. अभी किन की खातिर वो 9 बजे की जगह 10 बजे जा रही हूँ? उनकी खातिर.
की खातिर.
तो फिर कॉम्प्रोमाइज कहाँ है?
तो सर आप सब कुछ तो उनकी मर्जी से कर रहे हैं.
हाँ,
आपकी
तो क्या हुआ? कहीं लिखा हुआ है भगवान ने आके बोला है कि उनकी मर्जी से मत करो? एक
सर
औरत
बात.
उनकी सेवा कर रही है इतने सालों से,
जी.
नौकरी भी करती है, एक दिन लेट सो गई तो क्या हो गया?
दैट इज ओके. दैट्स अ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड जो आपने पहले बोला.
हाँ, तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, देखो बड़ी क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए. आपने पहले एग्री क्यों किया 9 बजे जाने के लिए? उनकी खातिर. करेक्ट.
जी.
तो आपने जब एग्री किया उनकी खातिर कि मैं जो कुछ भी मेरी रूटीन है चेंज करूंगी और समथिंग, आपने एग्री किया ना उनकी खातिर, उनकी
जी.
खुशी के लिए.
जी.
करेक्ट. अब वो नहीं उठी,
जी.
आप उनकी खुशी के लिए
हम्म.
10 बजे जा रहे हो.
जी.
तो अगर आप उनकी खुशी आपके लिए
इम्पोर्टेंट.
इम्पोर्टेंट है, तभी तो आप उनकी खुशी के लिए कर रहे हो ना. अब हम वहां नहीं जाएंगे कि हमेशा उनकी खुशी के लिए करना चाहिए. उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपको है. हो सकता है उनको खुशी होती हो कि उनकी खुशी के लिए कुछ करें. मैं अपनी बीवी की खुशी के लिए सब कुछ करता हूँ. मेरा क्या जाता है? अरे उनकी खुशी में मेरी खुशी है तो है.
कॉम्प्रोमाइज देन.
नहीं, आप उसको कॉम्प्रोमाइज कह रहे हैं. कॉम्प्रोमाइज क्या है? मैं कौन सी चीज नहीं कर रहा हूँ जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ? अगर मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ, तब उसको बोलते हैं कॉम्प्रोमाइज. मैं तो वही कर रहा हूँ जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ, तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज कहाँ से आ गया?
So again, it's a point of view. आप ऐसे सोचते हैं, मैं ऐसे.
इट इज अ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो आपका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ही आपको प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करता है ना. Our point of view creates our reality. Our point of view can give us happiness or our point of view can cause problem to us, right? और हर एक चीज में हमारा point of view है कि हो रही मैं तो compromise कर रहा हूँ. आप compromise कर रहे हो ना. आप compromise नहीं कर रहे हो. जब बारिश में गीले हो जाते हो तो compromise कर रहे हो. उसको भी compromise बोल लो फिर.
अपना दृष्टिकोण बदलिए is what you're trying to
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ अपना दृष्टिकोण देखो यार. मतलब
end result.
मेरे को तकलीफ कौन दे रहा है यार? मेरा दृष्टिकोण अगर तकलीफ दे रहा है तो फिर मुझे अपने दृष्टिकोण को देखना होगा। हर जजमेंट जो मेरी होती है वो एक दृष्टिकोण ही तो है।
True.
मेरे पास कोई भगवान ने यूनिवर्सल तराजू दिया हुआ है कि मुझे ही पता है क्या सही है क्या गलत है, और उसमें जो चीज फिट नहीं होती है मेरे को तकलीफ होती है। सो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि क्या हम जिंदगी में खुश होने के मौके तराशते हैं या दुखी होने के रीजंस ढूंढते रहते हैं? ये हमारी मर्जी है ना। अगर मुझे मीना कुमारी बनना है और दुखी रहना है तो मेरी मर्जी। फिर ये मत कहो कि मैं दुखी हूं। फिर
So accept it the way it is then.
अगर मैं दुखी रहना चाहता हूं तो रहो ना, फिर वो आपकी मर्जी है। Some people may be enjoying that also.
Yeah.
अब उनको अच्छे गाने लगते हैं, इस दुख भरी दुनिया में कोई भी सहारा न मिला,
गैर तो गैर
चैन से रहने दो मेरे पास ना आओ। फिर यही होता है, फिर कोई भी नहीं आता है पास। सुना है ना गाना? मुझे चैन से रहने दो मेरे पास ना आओ, भूली हुई यादें इतना न सताओ। क्या बात है। And that reminds me, Parenz, how about some shairi? Today we have our other shair with us or no? Where is the other shair? Kuldeep ji
Yes,
to hai
sir.
nahi. So
Yes,
only one shair is there.
ग्रेट कॉन्वर्सेशन सर। एक सवाल पूछना था।
एक सवाल तुम करो, एक सवाल हम कर रहे हैं। हाँ जी पूछिए।
सर ये मैं ऑब्जर्व कर रहा था कॉन्वर्सेशन, वंदना जी कॉम्प्रोमाइज लव्स पे जोर दे रही थी।
हाँ कुछ ज्यादा ही जोर दे रही थी।
कॉम्प्रोमाइज मैं क्यों करूं? क्या ये ईगो से जनरेट होता है? इज
आप डायरेक्टली बोल दो ना जो बोल रहे हो।
आई एम ट्राइंग टू गेट द एसेंस ऑफ दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन। अक्सर ऐसा मेरे साथ भी होता है, like most of us, why shall I compromise? And then I am relating this ego with the values and the principles. So the question what I wanted to ask, sir, what's the difference between principles and values?
They are both yours. They are both yours, no? And they are both points of view also. Okay. Have you noticed that values and principles also change sometimes over a period of time? See, once upon a time, the value in this country was कि औरतों को घर पे बैठना चाहिए, तुम घर संभालो, तुम बाहर जाके काम नहीं कर सकती हो। तो वो चेंज हो गई है ना। ये कॉम्प्रोमाइज यहाँ पे कहाँ से क्या लिंक है? आई एम ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट। कॉम्प्रोमाइज क्या होता है? इट्स वेरी सिंपल। मैं कुछ करना चाहता हूँ और मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि किसी की वजह से, तो उसको हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज कह सकते हैं। तो मत करो। फिर आप बोलोगे नहीं नहीं वो करेंगे तो ये होगा और वो होगा, तो फिर क्या करना चाहिए वो कर लो। अगर मैंने वो कर लिया मगर वो तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज होगा, तो फिर मत करो। Why are we complicating the things? If you think something is a compromise, don't do it. Finished. And then you live with the consequences of that, na? तो consequence भी नहीं चाहिए ना हमको, तो इसीलिए फिर हम अपनी मनमानी करते रहते हैं। वो मनमानी हमेशा चलती नहीं है, फिर दरार होती है, डिसोनेंस होता है, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, यही तो होता है। Good. Thank you for asking that one. But keep thinking about it. It's an interesting topic. That's why I started off saying today we will talk about internal conflicts. घुमा फिरा के external conflict में पहुंच ही जाएंगे। Yeah, very well, sir. You're wanting to tell us some Tirukkural?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, today Tirukkural I didn't prepare, sir. I want to ask a question, but I'm just considering time also. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. But do it fast.
Quick one.
Great, sir. I don't say that.
Yeah.
You keep quiet. Satyam sir, actually, this is something pertaining with the discussion between you and Vandana. I am completely aligned with the discussion point of view. I'm okay with this. But when the discussion is going on, very sorry to Vandana, just don't take it personally. My internal conflict goes that they won't get it. But when I observe your conversation, you're putting it with 100% compassion, that too on a free call, you're giving all your effort. But my internal talk saying something different. So how to develop that compassion, sir? Meaning that keeping this point of view of mine about the conversation, keeping it low and just giving 100%. Hope I'm putting it correctly.
Well, I cannot answer this question quickly. It would take probably 15 minutes for you to get it.
We will take
So
other
let's
sessions.
discuss
Okay.
that today. Yeah.
Okay.
We can try to do
Okay,
it on
sir.
Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Really. Sure, sir. Thank you very much. Bye.
Vilas, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Happy Diwali in advance. The interesting conversation. I got a lot from this conversation. Just few points I just want to review. Like Reddy Garu said that a commission thing, but yeah, it's a part of business and we have to accept and move on. Otherwise, we have to leave it. And second thing is the point of views. So it's our point of views are disturbing us and making ours right, others wrong. And so it's really, we have to change what we want for the happiness. So that is second thing I got. And third thing, I don't have a shire, but something came in my mind that it's in Hindi, like कुछ लोग खुद के दुखों से दुखी है, कुछ लोग खुद के दुखों से दुखी है, कुछ लोग दूसरों के दुखों से दुखी है, बट इस दुनिया में बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो दूसरों के सुखों से दुखी है.
दूसरों के सुखी से भी दुखी है. वो क्यों खुश है?
Hats off to social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and all these photography. Yeah, उसके पास है मेरे पास क्यों नहीं है? That's it. Thank you.
उसके पास है मेरे पास क्यों नहीं है? हे भगवान, उसकी कमीज मेरी कमीज से सफेद कैसी? रिन से. All right, कुरैन साहब, let us have some शायरी. अरे वेंकटेश जी कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? आप भी कुछ शेर सुनाएंगे वेंकटेश जी?
ये जो अभी बताया गया था उसमें मुझे एक गाना याद आया जलते हैं किसके लिए. हाँ,
तेरी आंखों के दिए ढूंढ लाया हूँ वही गीत तेरे लिए. क्या
एक जलन होती है दूसरे के सुख देख के कुछ लोगों को. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Okay, Guren, go ahead.
अर्ज किया है जनाब, ये वंदना जी के लिए है, डेडिकेटेड टू वंदना जी. वंदना जी, आर यू देयर?
जी.
अर्ज किया है आपके लिए, तवज्जो चाहूंगा कि मुश्किलों से भाग जाना आसान होता है. कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करूंगे, हटाओ भागो. मुश्किलों से भाग जाना आसान होता है, हर पहलू जिंदगी का इम्तिहान होता है. हर पहलू, हर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, यानी एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, हर पहलू जिंदगी का इम्तिहान होता है. डरने वालों को मिलता नहीं कुछ जिंदगी में, डरने वालों को मिलता कुछ नहीं जिंदगी में, लड़ने वालों के कदमों में जहान होता है. लड़ने वालों के कदमों में जहान होता है.
Very rightly put. प्रॉब्लम ये है.
अब ये जो लड़ने वालों की जिंदगी में जहां होता है ना, तो ये जो लड़ना है ना, it's not fighting. It means people who are willing to confront and face things. उसको लड़ना कहते हैं. जो लोग चीजों का सामना कर सकते हैं ना, अवॉइड नहीं करते हैं, वो असली लड़ना वो होता है. क्योंकि हथियार उठा के या थप्पड़ मार के लड़ना एक होता है, एक दूसरा होता है कि भाई चीज का सामना करो, बात करो, सुनो. Beautiful शायरी. Thank you very much. And on that note, thank you guys. Thank you Vandana. Thank you everybody who shared and listened. It made it very, very useful for everybody. Thank you. Bye. God bless you. See you tomorrow.